to the woods.
That's so cool. I have no... So does that mean that's what's on front?
Yeah.
His dream?
Yes.
That's
his dream.
Okay, so before you tell me more about what you've been reading, I have something that I want you to read for me.
Oh, also he got his picture back.
He got the picture of the tiger back? I'm glad he got it back. I was a little worried. Okay, so here is a story I have for you to read. It is called The 100 Dresses.
Oh.
That's a lot of dresses. I think that's a lot. So this is a story about a girl whose name is Wanda. Mm-hmm. And so do you think Wanda's the one that has 100 dresses? Probably.
Probably
I'm
not.
gonna find out. And she has a friend in this story whose name is
Peggy.
Mm-hmm. Hey, so
Because I've already read this.
You've read this before? No way. So you already know what it's about?
Mm-hmm.
Well, good thing, because you're going to have to tell me what the story is about once you're done reading. Okay? So you can start whenever you're ready.
Wanda didn't have any friends. She came to school alone and went home alone. She always wore a faded blue dress that didn't hang right. It was clean, but it looked as through it has never been ironed properly. She didn't have any friends, but a lot of girls talked to her. They waited for her under the maple trees on the corner of Oliver Street, or there I don't know.
Do you know what the beginning sound is?
Surrounded
Mm-hmm.
her in the schoolyard as she stood watching some little girls play hopscotch on the worn hard ground. Wanda, Peggy would say in a most
You need help with this word? Let's see. What? Courteous manner.
As through she was talking to Miss Mawson, or the principal. One day she'd say, giving one of her friends a nudge, "Tell us how many dresses did you say had hanging up in your closet?" 100, said Wanda. 100, exclaimed all the girls.
That one's a really hard word. It's incredulously.
And it wasn't always dressed. They walked about. Sometimes it was hats or coats, or even shoes. How many shoes did you say you had? 60 pairs of 60 shoes.
There's a backside.
60 pairs all lined up in my closet. Yesterday you said 50. Now I got 6 circles of what's this word?
What is the beginning sound of it? This is another really hard one. It's called exaggerated.
Exaggerated. Pointless. Greeted. This. All alike, said the girls. Oh no, every pair is different. All colors, all lined up. Wanda would shift her eyes quickly from pet to a distant spot as though she were looking for her head, looking but not seeing anything. Then the other
What sound does this make? Fringe.
Friend of the crowd of girls would break away, gradually laughing, and little by little until the group would despair.
Awesome. So can you tell me what the story was about from the very beginning?
It was about this girl named Wanda that had 100 dresses and 60 shoes. She used to have 50, and she didn't have any friends.
Mm-hmm.
And she was watching these little girls playing hopscotch and stuff.
Yeah.
And Wanda, she has a friend named Peggy.
Yeah. So you kind of already said this before, but what does Wanda usually wear?
She usually wears this faded blue dress.
Mm-hmm.
It's plain, but it's not ironed.
Yeah. So does Wanda have friends?
Just a couple.
Just a couple?
Yeah, she doesn't have very many friends.
Do you know who they are?
No, it only says Peggy.
Only says Peggy. So why do the other girls ask her about her dresses and shoes?
Because she doesn't wear good clothes.
Because she doesn't wear good clothes?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think there could be any other reason?
No.
So what do the other girls think of Wanda? From what you read, can you tell what they think of her? So after reading the story about the 100 dresses, what connections do you have?
Nothing.
Nothing. You're telling me you don't have 100 dresses? You're wearing a dress right now.
But I don't have 100.
I know for me, a connection I have is that, you know how it says how Wanda always wore the same faded blue dress? Well, I always used to wear my favorite brown sweater. I wore it all the time, just like Wanda always wears the same dress. So,
excuse me, whoever did that needs to
Olivia.
not do it again.
So are you sure you don't have any connections?
I'm sure.
Okay.
You can.
Did you like that story?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. So now, I want you to tell me more about The Tiger Rising. We haven't read that in a long time. So what have you learned since then?
So I learned that Robbie's still at home.
He's still at home? Has he tried to go back to school?
He's tried, but his dad always catches him and tells him to like help out with like chores and stuff.
Okay.
You know how he's staying at home like this.
Yeah.
And he always has the same dinner.
Mm-hmm. The same dinner?
Yeah.
What does he eat?
Like mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese. Yummy. So, has he seen the tiger in person yet? Again?
No, not yet.
No, not yet.
Not yet.
Well, I
He
know.
has in his dream now.
In his dream. Yeah, you told me about that. And how. Has he talked to Sistine?
No.
No. I wish he did. But you know what? You're going to have to tell me.
He likes it.
You think he likes her?
It said in the book.
It's
somewhere.
7. That's crazy.
I don't remember where it said it.
Is that why he thinks about her a lot?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think he's ever going to tell her
I don't know.
that he likes her?
It hasn't said anything about telling.
It hasn't said anything? Oh. Well, when you finish reading this book, next week I want you to tell me about what happens, because I really want to know what happens at the end of this. Okay. So, last week, you were reading The Miraculous Journey of Edward Tulane. Did you finish it?
No, not yet.
No, not yet. So, do you remember the characters in that book?
There's a lot of characters. Everything before that.
I know. But do you remember them off the top of your head?
There's Edward, and there's a little girl, which owned him until her two brothers, they were on a cruise, moving to a different place, and their two brothers were fighting over him and stuff, and it got thrown overboard. So now,
Really?
And now another little girl and her brother found it. Her sister was really sick and she died.
Oh.
And then he finds out new owners.
Well, I really wish we had the book here so we could look at it, but that's okay.
Should we go get it?
No, because they're testing in the room, so we don't have it. No, it's okay. But you have learned a lot about characters. So do you remember way back when? I know we did this a long time ago, but I had you fill out a sheet.
The Rising Tiger one?
Mm-hmm. And you told me if I could find it. Oh, here it is. So we filled out these characters.
I didn't get to do Rob and Billy. I mean Norton and Billy.
Mm-hmm. So did you meet any other characters in the book?
Not
Or is it
yet.
these same characters? Not yet?
It's just the same character so far, but except the tiger.
Mm-hmm.
The tiger.
So do you know the difference between main characters and secondary characters?
Yeah, secondary characters, they're not in the book so much.
Yeah.
And the main characters, they're mainly in the book. That's
You're right.
Those are the main characters.
So who would be the main characters from The Tiger Rising? Rob and Sistine? And why are they the main characters then?
Because Rob and Billy, they're just boys that go to school with him.
Mm-hmm.
And since he doesn't go to school, they're not the main characters anymore.
Yeah.
And now Sistine and Rob are just like the main characters.
Yeah.
Because now they're mostly in the book.
They're mostly in the book. You're right.
Same with the tiger.
Same with the tiger. But we've never met the tiger, though. So we don't know that much about him. So, characters play a really important role in every story. The main characters are the characters that you learn the most from because you see them a lot in there. So have you ever tried writing your own story?
No. I have in this grade about we all did this. It was about like important people.
About what people?
Important people
Mm-hmm.
that helped our community.
Mm-hmm. That sounds really interesting.
I did choose a dress.
Mm-hmm. So I was thinking that since you learned so much about characters in The Tiger Rising, and you learned about characters in The Miraculous Journey of Edward Tulane, that you could try to write your own story. And we could work on it together. So we could write our own story together. I think that would be really cool. I don't know about you. So, I have this exact same character chart that we use for The Tiger Rising. And I have a pencil for you too. And we can write down characters that we want in our story and what is very important about them. So, what do you want to write about? Let's think. What is your... Because you've been reading a lot of books about people who go on journeys. So do you want to write a story about someone who goes on a journey? You have a good idea? What is it?
We should put our favorite authors in the story.
Put our favorite authors in the story? That is a good idea. So you should write that author's name. Yeah.
Your name is big.
Yeah, it is.
And then you can write your favorite author.
Okay.
And then everybody can read our book.
Okay, my favorite author. I really like John Green.
And what book did he write?
He writes a lot of books, but one of my favorites is called The Fault in Our Stars. So, what kind of adventure do we want our characters to go on? What if they go on a journey to find the ultimate book?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to write down this idea. I'm going to say go on a journey to find the ultimate book. Now, something really important about books is that each book has a setting.
Mm-hmm.
So where do we want this book to take place?
Will it take place?
And you can write it down. At home? Okay. And now we need to write down. So we have the setting. We have the journey that they're going to go on. Now we need to write down some important ideas about each character. So, what is Kate DiCamillo's role in this story that we want to create? So first off, let's think. Are Kate and John friends? Are they enemies?
Friends.
Are they brother and sister?
They should be friends.
They should be friends? Okay. Do you want to write that down? Do you want to write it down? So we can be friends. So they are friends. And I'm going to write, they both like to write.
Yeah, their own books.
Write their own books. And you know what would be cool? If they got a secret message that led them on a scavenger hunt. Do you know what a scavenger hunt is?
Yeah, it's kind of like you go on scavenger hunt for Easter eggs on Easter.
Yeah. Do you want to write that down? I can help you spell it.
No, you write it.
Okay.
What
So
is that for?
I just wrote it down. Scavenger hunt. Okay. So do you have any more ideas for our story?
No.
At the moment? Okay. So next week, we're going to write this story. And we'll work on it together, just like we did with this. We'll take turns writing the sentences. And then maybe we can even draw some pictures for our story.
And decide.
We can do that. Hey, you did a great job today, and I want to let you know that when you read The 100 Dresses, you did fantastic. You're such a good reader,
Yeah,
Olivia.
we could write about them.
Write about them? So you want to write like a nonfiction piece about the author? Okay, maybe we'll do that next week. Alrighty?